So hi and welcome to this video. So today we're going to be learning about is a thing in JavaScript called events. And what an event is it basically is, for example, like this, the onClick event. It's an attribute that you can add to certain HTML elements that allows you to run JavaScript code at specific times. So when a specific action happens or whatever. So in this case, when the button is clicked, we're going to run some JavaScript code. There's more than just onClick. There's on mouse down, mouse up, and there's loads of other ones. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have a basic HTML web document, or a HTML5 web document actually. It has a title that says Learn JavaScript. It has the JavaScript script tags that allow us to actually embed JavaScript in the page, as opposed to having it in an external file. And we have a button of type button, and it has an onClick event that does nothing, but its text is set to my button. So here's our page itself. It doesn't actually do anything yet. So let's get started. So I'm going to create, the first thing we're going to do in the onClick event is I'm just going to create an alert that's going to say hello world. So what an alert is it's just a built-in function inside of JavaScript. And what it does is it just creates a small window, or in Chrome's case it makes like a tiny window at the top that's not a real window, and then it says hello world in it. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. So if we come here and we refresh the page to make it reload our changes, and we click on my button, it says the page at localhost says hello world. So we can click OK, and then the alert disappears. So what I'm going to do now is, since I've showed you what an event is, I'm going to create a custom one. So we're going to make a function, and don't actually worry about functions in this video. We're going to cover that in another video. But just for now, just copy what I do, and then it's just a good way to learn about events. So I've created a function, on the onClick now of the button, it says my function, and that's what's going to run. It's going to run my function, which is why it has the parentheses around the end, because that's how you execute a function in JavaScript. But you can also have things in arguments and things in your parentheses, like for example like that or whatever. Oops, and they'd all be separated by commas, but that's for another video, so don't worry about that for now. So I'm just going to create a function up here, this is where we actually create the function. Down here is just the code we used to execute it. So we've created our function, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a small div down here. And the ID I'm going to give it is really important. I'm going to call it my div. The ID itself that I give it's not important, but the fact that I gave it an ID is because that's how we can interact with it. And that's how we can interact with it with JavaScript. So this div just says hello world, and if I reload the page, you will just see it says hello world underneath the button. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a variable, and it's going to be called my div. The variable name is not important; it's just what I called it. And it's going to be equal to get element by ID. Oh, whoops! It's actually a document.get element by ID. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give it the ID we created earlier in the div, which is my div. It's actually just a coincidence that to save confusion, I'm just going to call the variable d to show that it can be different. But the div ID you give it and the ID you give to get element by ID has to be the same, because that's how JavaScript knows which div you want it to mess with. And then what we're going to say is d.inner HTML equals, whoops, let's just say the button was clicked. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into our page now, and I'm going to refresh, and as you'll see, now when I click on the button, the text that says hello world should change. So it's changed to the button was clicked. So what happened was when we used the onClick event in the button, it ran the function my function, and then it executed the code that we wrote in the function. What we can also do is we can say d.style.color equals, and then we could say blue, and this would set the text color to blue, as well as changing it. So if I click on this, now as you can see the text color changed and the text itself changed. And finally, we can also do one more thing. We can use on mouse down. What will happen is it'll execute the code. So now, if you notice, the last time I had to click on the button, and I had to unclick on the mouse, so the button itself had a full click before the code would execute. But now, as you'll see, if I just click down and don't lift my mouse up, as you can see, I'm still clicking on the button, but the actual script is executed, and the text underneath has changed, and the color of the text itself has changed. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And don't forget to also subscribe to the show. Tell me if there's anything else you want to see in particular. And apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.